Hey everybody, it's Jackie Kunkel. I'm here in today on Watch Me Wednesday, my third episode. Uh, I'm back here in sunny Arizona, and it is nice to see you all. Hey Lisa, thanks for stopping in. And today is I'm going to do a little tutorial today. It is 97 degrees out today and the humidity is 3%. So it's pretty darn dry here, but we've got a nice sunny day. So I wanted to show you today, I know we all make flying geese, right? So I want to, it's telling me something here. Want to know who's watching your live video? Swipe left to see your viewers. I can see you guys. I can see you. Hi, Jean. How are you? So anyway, we are going to do a little tutorial today on flying geese. I prepared some things for you ahead of time. So some of you might know this method. Some may not know the method. But I wanted to share with you because I use this method all the time. So I'm going a little different today. I'm on the horizontal versus the vertical today. So we're going to see if this actually works out well. So I'm going to flip the camera around because I've chosen, I've got some things laid out. I did some step outs for you all so that you can see what I'm working on. So here we go. Here's the tutorial. All right, so we are going to be working on some flying geese today, and I'm going to be using these fabrics. I'm working on my pattern Island Breeze, and some of you might have seen me working on this pattern. I just recently did it on a cruise. I taught it on a cruise in the Caribbean with Stitch in Heaven, and a lot of the gals on the cruise finished their quilts. So I wanted to show you the technique. Hey, Christine. Hey, Mary Jo. So I wanted to show you the technique that I use in this particular quilt. And actually, there we go. Sue D was on the cruise with me and she just finished her Island Breeze. So we're going to show you how she and the others learned how to make some flying geese. So anyway, what we're going to start with for my particular pattern, which is available on my site, I'll give you the links later. My particular pattern calls for four 4-inch squares and one 7.5-inch square. Okay, so this is going to make you 4 flying geese. Okay, so the first thing we do is we take your 4-inch squares and you're going to draw a diagonal on them, on all your squares down the middle. See how I did the diagonal there? You're just going to take any kind of marking pencil, whatever's going to show up on your fabric the best. Okay. Then what you're going to do is I'm going to push this aside. I'm going to bring this in. You're going to take 2 of the squares, okay, and you are going to, what I did was, if you can see here, I lined them up so that there's 1 square in one corner, 1 square in the opposite corner, and then what I did was I put pins. Maybe you can see the pins there. Okay, but if you'll notice too, let's get in real close. Here, I kept them a little scooch off the edge of that pink fabric. That actually is going to help you out a bit, okay? So once you've got them lined up and pinned, the next thing you're going to do, oh, and by the way, if you have questions about this, please ask them because I will answer them. You can either wait and ask until I'm done, or you can ask them in just a little bit. Sue D is saying the video is not working. Just click on it, Sue, or refresh your screen. Then once you've got them pinned on, hey Karen, how are you? You're going to sew, and let's see if you can see my stitches. I'm going to get in here close. You're going to sew a 1/4 inch away from that line you drew, and you're going to sew it all the way up and down both sides, and you're using your 1/4 inch foot on this. Okay, so you want to make sure you're doing an accurate 1/4 inch. Okay, now Okay, people are saying the video is not working. How many of you can see? Tell me if you can see, please, because I'll try and refresh and let me know if you can see. Type a comment in. Nobody's seeing the video. Okay. I'm not sure. Refresh your screens, ladies. Oh, Betsy says she can see, so you can hear me? Can you hear me too, Linda? Okay, Lisa, we've got a lot of people that can see. Can somebody please just tell everybody who can't see to refresh their screens? Thank you. I'm glad you all can see. For those of you who can't see, you're going to need to refresh your screens, okay? So anyway, where we're at is we've put our squares on top of the 4-inch squares on top of the 7.5-inch squares. We've marked the lines on our 4-inch squares down the middle. Then we've aligned the 2 4-inch squares, okay? Then you're going to sew that 1/4 inch away from the middle, okay? You're going to stitch up and down both sides, okay? Once you've done that, I like to take the pins out, and then I like to give it a press, okay? Then you're going to end up with a piece that you're going to need to cut apart, okay? So here is what you end up with after you have sewn it. Then you're going to take your rotary cutter and you're going to put your ruler on the line and cut them apart. So now you have your 1/4 inch and you're cutting right on that line you drew, okay? After you've done this, now what you need to do is then press again. So you're going to get 2 units that look, I call them hearts, is what they look like. Okay, so you're going to press them this way, okay, to get 2 of these. So you're going to get 2 heart units, I call them, okay. Then once you've got your heart units, you're going to take those 2 heart units and the last 2 squares, okay? You're going to take those other 2 squares that you have drawn the lines on, and you're going to put them smack dab down the middle of the heart, and you're going to back them off just a teensy bit there. See how I have it just a teensy bit? Pin them in place, okay? Can you see all that? Thank you, Kathy. Mary Jo, I am sorry you can't see. I will repost this video. Okay, so now once that is done, then you will have your units sewn, okay? You'll sew them down both edges. And once they're sewn down both edges, you're going to cut them apart. So they will look like, oops, let me get these in order here. It will look something like this, if I can get it arranged right. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, you're going to cut them apart. Here it is. Oops. No, I had it the right way. Anyway, you're going to cut this apart down the middle, and you get 4 of these, which become your flying geese, okay? So once you've sewn those down the edges, okay, and then you've cut them apart, you're going to press open, okay, to get 4 flying geese, okay? So now you've got 4 of these units. And we need to trim them down. So what I like to do is I like to use Deb Tucker's wing clipper. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. The nice thing about her wing clipper ruler is it's a trim down tool, but it makes various sizes of geese. And the cool thing is that it's pretty darn accurate and you don't have a lot of waste. So if you're thinking of making a project with geese, just your own designs. She tells you in here the different sizes that you can make and what sizes you need to cut your little squares and your big squares to make the size that you need, okay? So now that we have these units, basically what you're gonna do here, these units end up being 6.5 inches finished. So you're going to put your ruler down, you're gonna turn your goose that direction down, and then you're gonna line up, there's a 6.5 inch here, and then there's a 3.5 inch here. But what we're lining up is we're lining up those crosshairs. If you can see right there near my finger is, and I'm casting a little shadow with my phone, but see how that crosshair ends up right in there, and then you've got that angle here and the angle here. It sits right in that V, okay? Then the next thing you would do is you would take your rotary cutter and you would trim down the excess that's here. There's just a little bit. There's just a teeny little bit to trim there, not a lot. Okay, so you're going to trim that off, okay? Then, once you've done that and you've trimmed that bottom off, so now here's, let's see, here is a piece that I've done the trimming on here. So this one's trimmed here and here, okay? Then you would turn that around and you'd also turn your ruler around, okay? Now you're going to line up, I'm sorry, we're going to don't turn your ruler around, I'm sorry. I'm looking at it through the phone and it looked funny. So you're going to line up that 6.5 inch again, okay? And that 3.5 and nestle that right in there. Nestle it right in, okay? Line up those V's and line up that bottom line, that 3.5. And then you're going to trim and trim at the top. So there's, see how there's just a teeny tiny little bit that you're trimming? Then once you've trimmed that, you end up with a perfect flying geese. And look, here is really important. This leaves you an exact 1/4 inch seam allowance too. Okay, so you've got, now from that you get, from the very beginning, you have the 7.5 inch square and these 4 triangles. From that there, you get, hey Mary Beth, you did this pattern. You get 4 flying geese in the end, but nicely trimmed down like this one. So using the wing clipper tool is what you get. Geez, a lot of people are having problems today. I know that other people are seeing fine. Can you guys who are seeing fine, let them know that they'll be able to watch the replay soon. I will repost. Janet, can you see, and can you let them know that you're hearing it fine? I can't type in comments at this point. So hopefully everybody will be able to see the replay of this. So I'm going to flip the phone around. Good idea, Karen. Turn off all other apps. So does anybody have any questions about the tutorial? I wish it would have gone a little bit better. I wish some of you would have been able to hear me a little better. Thank you, Janet. Anyway, do you have any questions about this technique here? Okay. Thank you, Betsy. Hi, Kristen. So I want to show you, so I said that the flying geese are going to make this, and I want to show you what this is going to actually look like when you're done. So I'm going to take you over here to my design wall. So these are my blocks, and those are those flying geese. I'm looking up high at my design wall, but those are my flying geese, and then there's 1/4 square triangles in there. So, but anyway, that's what it's going to look like when it's done.